Welcome to Pacers Crate. I'm Conrad Brunner of Pacers.com, once again joined by Mark Boyle in his Boston Bruins jersey of Pacers Radio and Chris Denari of Pacers Television.
I'm glad to see we're all three reunited.
It has been a while. It's an interesting point in the year because they're out of the playoffs. You get the sense from the fans that they're almost rooting for the team to lose games to get a better draft pick, and yet you go in the locker room and these guys want to win. You know, they want to try to build something positive going toward the end of the year. Well, it's an interesting dichotomy. What do you think is the best thing here?
Well, I mean, it's a conundrum, but the best thing is, I mean, you play to win games, and young guys want to win. This franchise wants to win. You get tired of losing, and so you want to win basketball games, but yet you understand that you also want to.
What's going on? What's happening?
Sorry to interrupt. Bruno, I apologize. El Pacero here.
Oh my
God, it's El Pacero.
I've got to clear the air here. I don't know if did you have a chance to read my
Yes, I read your. Yes, I did.
Well, good. You know, some of my fans, it was a major outrage here. And what was that?
Do we not have security in this building? What's going on here?
I'm sorry, Bruno. This will only take a minute.
He's very subtle. It would be very easy to speak through.
The 76ers game, Chris, and I know we talked about it, and we met after the game and kind of talked, and you mentioned there was some question about my gender and if I possibly was a woman. And then I went home and watched the TV after the game, as any good Pacers fan should do. And
I like that.
I was completely, my wrestling woman ego, my self-esteem just out the door.
He just said wrestling woman ego.
Hang on, I'm getting
Doesn't your
security.
belt say women's wrestling champion?
Yeah, hi, this is Conrad
That's right,
Brunner down in the
I only wrestle
We've
women.
got
But you're a man.
But you're a man.
Here, some guy
And that might be
wrestling
part of the
outfit.
confusion.
That's what I'm getting at.
We need some big dudes with preferably
for
very
a long time
violent
I've
to
been the
come down and
world
take care of
wrestling
this.
champion.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I only wrestle women, and that does cause a little confusion, but at the same time, it's been a long, proud.
I guess he's wrestling women. That's not a bad thing.
I can see how you would
right?
make that mistake.
If you're a man, who would you rather wrestle when you get right down to it?
Yeah.
That's right. You know, I'm not a huge guy.
Do you have a real job?
I wrestle for a living. And
You do wrestle
He's the
for a living.
women's
And he goes to,
wrestling.
yeah, he's El Pacero. So the good news is you're El Pacero. We can scrub away La Pacera, right?
That's
Okay.
fictitious. I don't know where that came from, but I'd like to get that over with and no more mention of anything regarding my gender ever again.
Well, security is on the way, and they got two big violent guys coming because, this is a security breach. We're trying to film a very important internet program here. So do you have any further business you want to conduct? You might want to get it done and get out of here before security gets
Uh,
here.
Could I have the official press release? I have
make
read
sure
it.
that you have that.
Okay.
Read it again, maybe.
Okay, thank you.
Just to make sure everything's clear.
Okay.
And then if everyone follows El Pacero on Twitter, it's twitter.com/El Pacero.
Everybody's got Twitter, don't they?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's ELPACRO, not La Pacera, but El Pacero. If you retweet my latest tweet, you will win an autographed photo of El Pacero and also 2 tickets to an upcoming Pacers game.
Well, how about that?
Well,
He's not just interrupting the crate, he's giving away tickets to fans. So he's clearly a benevolent superhero.
He knows about marketing. He's marketing El Pacero.
Using the internet and social media right here by interrupting the crate.
All right, well, let's shake hands.
Okay,
All
it's
right.
over with.
Okay,
Okay,
over with.
Love you.
All right,
security's
thank you.
on the way,
Thank
so
you.
you better hustle.
All
I'm out of
right,
here.
all right.
Love you, Pacers.
El Pacero rides again.
That, boys, is 3 minutes we'll never get back.
Well,
But at least it was cleared up, so.
Yeah.
that was certainly...
See what you miss doing radio.
Oh, my goodness. That was certainly interesting and unexpected. And what were we talking about before El Pacero?
We were talking
the
about
dichotomy.
winning.
Yeah, the dichotomy of trying to win games when the fans might want the other thing.
I have lost my train of thought.
Well, Mark, take it from here.
This is interesting to me because it happens to a select few franchises every year where the goal of the team becomes perhaps different than the goal of the franchise. And that is a dichotomy because you do want, when you're going to rebuild, which this team I think we all agree needs to do at least on some level, you do need some good young talent, and the best way to get that is to get as high a draft pick as possible, and the only way to do that is to lose a lot of games. But these guys are professionals, they have pride, the coaching staff is the same, and so they're doing the best they can to win, and that's as it should be. I understand fans wanting the team to lose, and on some level that might be best for the franchise, but for the people who are here now, winning needs to continue to be the goal.
And this is really why the NBA instituted the lottery process in the first place, was, tanking and positioning for picks. There's no, even if you lost all your games and wound up in the second or third hole, which seems almost out of reach, you're not guaranteed of getting that number one pick. So really, I think for the guys, as Jim O'Brien pointed out, most of the guys that are in that locker room are going to be back next year.
Right.
And if they have the opportunity here with a bunch of games to finish the season, to go into the offseason with a good feeling about themselves collectively and individually, I think they're going to be somewhere around 4 or 5, whatever, in terms of their lottery slot. So win as many games as you can. What will one spot hurt?
Well, and the other thing is you look at the Clippers got the number 1 draft pick last year with Blake Griffin. They weren't the worst team in the league.
Right.
They were able to slide down. So, yeah, you're not going to have a very good record no matter what happens the last number of games for the Pacers. So it's important to try to win, get some confidence, develop the young guys. We saw them play very well in the fourth quarter against Cleveland, Hibbert, Rush, Price. And then it's a dice roll. I mean, and you just got to hope at some point that the dice come up the right way and that you get a decent draft pick. You're going to get a good draft pick. The question is, how good?
Yeah, the thing about that is that I've always believed nothing is really gained by losing.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to lose. You never really want to go into that mindset that that's what you're trying to do or that you want to do it. And I think the Pacers are going to try to win. They've been trying all year.
Yeah.
They just haven't been real good at it.
Right.
But I think for these last few games, that's what they should do and what they will continue to do. And it's the best of both worlds because fans, they're going to get a high draft pick.
Yeah.
Which draft pick, we don't know, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and that's I think, true in any sport. It's professional sports. These guys are paid to win. And so for them to do anything else would be, I think, unethical. And I think if you went into any locker room, whether it's New Jersey's or Minnesota's or whomever's, you would find very few players who would disagree with that. They have pride. They want to do well. Even guys that are just in it for their own individual agendas want to put up good numbers or want to play well so somebody else sees them if they're a free agent. I think you would very rarely find a guy who would be interested in doing anything other than winning.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us for this, I believe we can say it's memorable
I have the
episode
official
of Crate.
press release now. I'll make sure I read through it.
So we're gonna tighten up security and
guy have
try to
a,
do this again
He
next
has a
week.
Did he
letterhead.
have a publicist or did he write himself?
I don't know.
So
He's-
please join us again because once again, the motto, you never know what to expect.